Welcome to today's episode of the J and J podcast. I'm Jamie.
This is Jameson.
We want to welcome all of our listeners in. Um, Today we're really going to focus mostly on the NBA because NBA is back, baby. Um, it's the most wonderful time of the year. I know they talk about Christmas, but this is for me and Jameson. This is probably our most wonderful time of the year. So we're excited, but we want to actually have a quick recap of some of the NFL that happened this week. And Jameson, let's start with the Bengals versus the Steelers.
Yes,
That
sir.
was an interesting game.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It was honestly a vintage performance from Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers. Like it felt like we were watching them go head to head against each other, like maybe 5 to 10 years ago. Joe Flacco, first game in the Cincinnati Bengals uniform, he balled out. Honestly, I thought I was watching Joe Burrow. He looked phenomenal. He got Jamar Chase involved, and he finally got a quarterback for the Bengals finally able to get T Higgins involved. So the only concern that I really have for the Bengals, I mean, of course, it was a scrap it out really type of win, and they were able to defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I'm still just very concerned about their run game. It's like Chase Brown is a phenomenal running back, but he's literally still averaging less than 3 yards a carry on the season, which that's not going to get it done. I feel like the best teams, as you've been able to see in the National Football League, are the teams that are able to not only pass the ball but run the ball as well. So as good as they looked in the past game, if they cannot establish a run, I still feel like the Bengals will be fun to watch. They still have arguably the best wide receiving core in all of football, and Jamar Chase and T Higgins, but ultimately I don't think they're going to really make the playoffs or really make a whole lot of noise, but they'll be fun to watch. For the Pittsburgh Steelers side, that's honestly a game. I get it. Joe Flacco looked like he was throwing in a Baltimore Ravens uniform, but you can't afford to lose that game. In my opinion, the Steelers are still kind of like an iffy team. They'll have games where they really look dominant, and then games like that where they're just not able to get it done late game situations. So a lot to see from both teams moving forward, but it was a really fun game to watch for Thursday Night Football. We kind of been spoiled so far with a lot of the Thursday Night Football matchups so far. But your thoughts?
I'll just say this: I think it's really telling that you've got 95-year-olds out there slinging the football, and you've got the when you look at the younger quarterbacks, and we'll talk about this a little bit later. When you got the quarterback of the Browns who can't even throw the ball any farther than 7 to 8 yards, uh, you got some of the other quarterbacks in the league who are really struggling,
That
and you
too.
got, I mean, it's insane, and so and Gabriel too. I mean, we'll talk about him, but you know, I just think it's an indictment on the way the NFL doesn't develop quarterbacks.
Yeah.
They don't put the time in. You pay them some money on the front end, and you're expecting them to come in day one and carry the team. Both of these dudes actually had time to develop. That's why they're still in the league. That's why they still have longevity.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre for a minute. Jordan Love sat behind
Aaron
um,
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers for a minute, and you see the difference in how they play. So it was fun to watch, but it's an indictment on the league, in my opinion, because they haven't done a good job developing quarterbacks, which is probably the most important position on the team.
Oh, it
So
is.
it's fun. Yeah, it was fun to watch. Now, speaking of quarterbacks who have actually been developed, or we knew he was going to do his thing, Patriots versus Titans. That Drake May.
That Drake May.
Um, I mean, I'm just gonna say this, and then I'll pass it over to you. Drake May is who we thought he was.
Yep.
Um, we've been talking about it for a minute. You and I have been discussing him. We talked about Amari and Hampton. Of course, he got hurt, so we haven't seen as much of him. Drake May's the real deal. This doesn't surprise us. It doesn't shock us at all. It's the fact that a lot of folks just thought, oh, he went to Carolina. That's a basketball school. The truth of the matter is, we've actually put a lot of Carolina. When I say we put a lot of great players in the NFL. One of the, if not the greatest defensive player of all time, was Lawrence Taylor.
That
Um,
OT.
I mean, they're Carolina has actually had very good players in the league, and so I think a lot of folks thought he was going to be Mitch Trubisky coming out. How? I mean, seriously,
No,
like
for real, you're
highly,
right though.
yeah, highly skilled. But this dude has been playing. He was born to be a quarterback. His
Yep.
dad played quarterback at Carolina. His brother Luke May helped Carolina win a championship. His other brother played baseball and won a championship in Florida. This dude is an athlete. He's sneaky, athletic. I'm not surprised at all. I think a lot of folks are surprised at how quickly the Patriots have kind of gotten together. Imagine if he gets more weapons.
Yep, we've been saying
Um,
that for the last couple of weeks. It's scary.
exactly. It's scary. So, shout out to Drake May, Titans. Cam Ward is going to be a great one, but just like we just talked about, some dudes need a little bit more time
Yep. And
to
his
develop.
weapons stink. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, it just
He
it's
doesn't
back.
have any weapons.
Yeah, it's back to the development aspect. It's like, bro, when your best wide receiver is Calvin Ridley, who literally is gonna catch the ball one possession and then drop the next three, that's no way for a quarterback to be able to develop. And then you just fired your head coach. It's like any stability that he had is already gone. It reminds me of what happened with Bryce Young. It's like, they rushed him, they fire his coach, mid-season, and then it's like right after that, it's like you're kind of just starting from scratch. That's not a good situation for a young quarterback that's trying to develop. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
and here's what's kind of scary. Cam Ward has shown that he definitely deserved to be number one pick. Like some of the throws and some of the plays I've seen him make already, I'm like, man, like he's making some plays that I've seen dudes that have been in the league 10 years that they can't make right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all the talent is there. I just hope that they don't run him into the ground and ruin him early, like we've seen a
By
lot of
not
other
putting
teams do.
talent around him.
Exactly. And I'm
Yes,
kind of nervous because I'm like, who in their right mind want to go play for the Titans right now? They stink. They
they
suck.
stink. They do.
But and real quickly to add to Drake May, I saw a stat. I think it was either the game over the weekend or week before that. He set the record for the highest completion percentage in the game by a quarterback. That's given literally the same franchise that Tom Brady played for, the GOAT.
Yes,
So
yes.
the fact that Drake May
And
is already doing that with the lack of weapons, his number one receiver is Stephon Diggs. And this is not
yep,
to Stephon Diggs. It's like Stephon Diggs is getting older. Like he's still
yeah.
a really great. But is Stephon Diggs a top 10 wide receiver? No.
Nope,
He's
nope.
a comparable like good wide. He's a competent wide receiver, but not a number one. So I just love what I've seen from Drake May, and yes, he is in the MVP conversation right now, if not at the top.
I don't disagree.
Yep.
I don't disagree at all. So it'll be fun to watch
Yes, sir.
his development continue. They put some weapons around him. They're scary.
Facts.
So speaking of quarterbacks who need some development, Browns versus Dolphins.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to say. Yes, the Browns won. It was a blowout.
They got
But
carried
because
by the run game.
it was the run game, and it's because the Dolphins stink.
Yeah.
Um, it that's literally what it boils down to. I'm just blown away at the fact that so many folks, the media, are really trying to hype this dude up when everybody else sees he's a serviceable
Oh, Dylan
backup at
Gabriel?
best.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's not. And this is no disrespect. The brother's not good. He did not
he's
look.
not.
Even on Sunday, they won like you said, 31-6. But if you actually watch the game, like I said, Quinshon Judkins looked like Jim Brown. Like
Yes,
literally, Quinshon has already become like arguably a top 10 running back right now in the entire National Football League. And if I'm being real, like teams know that the Browns are going to run the football, and he's still been able to put up numbers. His brother had 3 touchdowns. No, not 3 touchdowns. What was it? 3 touchdowns?
yes,
Yeah, three
he had three
touchdowns.
touchdowns.
Yeah, so it's
Yes,
like that's literally 21 out of 31 of your points right there. Dylan Gabriel didn't have to
exactly.
do much. And then on the other side, the Miami Dolphins, their season's over. You lose Tyreek Hill and you have Tua turn the ball over at quarterback. He's terrible. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And here's what I'm gonna say. My hope for the Dolphins is because I've heard all this talk about do you move on from Tua? Do you fire Mike McDaniel? Here's what I think. I think before they fire Mike McDaniel, they need to just put Tua turn the ball over on the bench. He stinks. He's not a good quarterback. And here's what makes it worse. He's not a good leader. Some of the comments that he's made to the media and stuff, dogging out teammates, dogging out the leadership, I'm like, bro, you are literally the highest paid player on that team for a reason. Like, and here's what's wild. The Dolphins have done everything in their power to try to work with Tua. Like, I don't know a lot of franchises that are going to literally adjust their entire offensive scheme because their quarterback continues to get concussed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Tua has to be better going forward, but I think before they fire Mike McDaniel, they need to just bench Tua because they have some talent. It's just they're not producing wins. But yeah,
Oh,
that's
I
that
agree.
for them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree. So it'll be interesting if he does get fired. Maybe they'll You know, um,
I hope Mike McDaniel can go just be an offensive coordinator somewhere.
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah,
So I just we're not talking a lot about Shador because I think at this point it's become obvious what's
yeah,
happened,
it is.
and Stefanski is a moron. There's no other way to put it. He's a moron. Um, moving on, Browns versus Broncos. I'm sorry, Broncos versus Giants. Let me just say this. I don't know if the Giants are going to be able to bounce back from this.
Yeah, their defensive
You
coordinator should have not been able to be allowed to get on the team plane. To
No, he shouldn't have been allowed to finish the
Yeah,
game. Like
33
they
points in the fourth quarter
33
is
points in the fourth,
outrageous.
insane. Scatterboo and Dart, you did all that scatterbooing and darting, and you still
Yeah,
lost.
you got to pump the
I
brakes.
am, I am just that was incredible to me.
Yeah.
And um, Bo Nix, I got to give him props.
Oh, that brother's
Um,
nice. That brother's special.
he is special. Look, what I've paid attention to is, and we hear this word all the time, his stick to itiveness. Because
Yeah.
even when he makes a mistake, it's like he shakes it off and
He's
he
very
moves on to the next
poised.
play.
It's
He
like
is
it's
very
similar to
poised.
Jaden Daniels. He has that poise
Yes,
already at a young
he does.
age.
Just like Drake May.
Yep,
Um, but
exactly.
I would. But here's what I will say. I think Drake May just has all the goods.
I agree.
Like this dude has grit and he has some other things. I'm not saying he can't make all the throws, but for Drake May, I'm not saying it's easy, but it almost is easy.
Yeah,
Like it's natural for him. He's an organic quarterback. That's
facts.
that's the best way to
And Dad, I'm
describe
gonna be
him. And
honest. For the Broncos too, I gotta give credit to their defense and Sean Payton.
no
People can say
question,
what they want about Sean Payton. It's like he has those brothers motivated. Like
he
they
does.
easily could have just threw in the towel whenever they were down in that fourth quarter, but they clawed back. And it's honestly it's inexcusable for the Giants. It's like they arguably have one of the best like defensive lines in all of football with Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau. The fact that you gave up 33 points in the fourth quarter, and I'm gonna be honest, the Broncos don't have that. Like outside of Cortland Sutton, they don't have like Franklin's solid, but they don't have like explosive playmakers. So it's not like they have an AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. They let them brothers put up 33 points. It's unacceptable.
It is.
Yeah,
It absolutely is. So, I think though, I think the Giants are going to have a hard time coming back from this.
I
I
agree.
really do. Um, so we'll move on from that very quickly. Last point about the Broncos though, and I will say this about Sean Payton. As good as that was, I heard him say that was a great win. We came all the way back. He was like, but we have some things to fix because
Yep.
we put ourselves in that
Yes,
situation.
sir.
And I'm like, that's a good coach.
Yep, facts.
Rather than saying, man, look at what we did. Wow. He was like, nah, we actually put ourselves in that situation. We have some things that situation. We have some things to fix.
Yep.
So I was impressed by that.
Me too.
Um, Cowboys versus the Commanders. I'll let you take it.
I'll keep this brief. Right now, arguably the Cowboys have arguably the best offense in all of football. It's kind of scary. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna pump the
I don't
brakes
even
on.
think it's arguable. I
Yeah,
think they
facts.
do.
They do. And here's what I'm gonna say. I've been high on George Pickens since he was with the Steelers. That brother is a number one wide receiver. Like right now, the
No
Cowboys
question.
have two number one wide receivers, and honestly, CD getting hurt was a blessing in disguise. This
Yep.
allows this allowed George Pickens' confidence to build, and now they're scary. They have Dak. Dak looks like Troy Aikman this season. It's absolutely incredible. It
Dak
looks
is in
like
the
Dak.
MVP
Oh, he
conversation,
is, no
and
question.
he would be near the top if they had won
If they want
more.
some more. And
Yeah,
and then here's what I'm gonna say though. As good as their offense is, I still gotta see because their defense looked phenomenal, but they just gotta be consistent with it. And I'm not putting too much stock into it because they literally play all they did against the Commanders, they played man and just
depleted.
loaded the box. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it
Because
was a depleted wide receiver
I mean, Jaden Daniels literally didn't have his number one, number two, or number three wide
or
receiver.
number
Of
three.
course, of
Right.
course, they're just gonna load the box and play man. So, I got to see the Cowboys do that against a fully healthy roster and offense. But if their defense can even play decent with the way that offense is clicking, they might end up winning the NFC East the way the Eagles look too. But that's
I
another
agree.
discussion for another day. But yeah, shout out to the Cowboys.
Absolutely. That was impressive.
Yes, sir.
And to your point, I'm not getting ready to
Yeah.
not get ready to crown them Super Bowl champs,
No.
or say that they're going to the Super
Take it
Bowl.
1 week at a time. That's all you
We've
can do
seen
with the
this before from
Cowboys.
the Cowboys.
Yep.
That's right. So, Lions versus Bucks. Okay, I got to say this.
That's Jameer Gibbs.
My God. So And that was with Jared Goff honestly having somewhat of an off night.
Facts.
Um, and I'm just listen. He's my guy, but I've just got to say this. Um, Baker Mayfield looked like Gio Lopez for the Carolina Tar Heels last night.
He looked,
Like,
yeah, it was pretty
I mean,
rough.
it was bad. It was really, really. He was throwing the ball high. He was missing dudes, but that was that defense. That pressure
Yep.
was,
Yep.
boy, it was every other play, and I mean, he was just off, and they
Yep.
made him off. Um, Even the pass that he threw to, I think his name is Trev Johnson.
Yeah.
Um, one of the passes he threw that
Oh,
ended up
Tej
getting him
Johnson.
Tez Johnson.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it is. Yeah, Tez Johnson. He threw the ball so high. I was like, man, Tez went and got that. That was crazy.
Yep.
Because the pass was way too high. It's like, who are you throwing to, Wimby? And yeah, nice segue. We'll get into that in a minute. But I just will say this: Lions are still the real deal. I think this was a bump in the road for the Bucks. They're still a team to be for teams to be afraid of
Yeah.
and to be wary of. But I also think, and that was another thing, he also didn't have his full complement of weapons either. And then Mike Evans,
I
who
was
had
about to
just come
say
back,
he's done
got
now.
hurt again.
He's
Yeah.
done.
So I know. So that's when you think about all of those things combined, he had a rough night, but the Detroit Pistons defense was
Detroit Lions.
also.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the Detroit Pistons. See, boy, I'm really in NBA mode right now. That's
Oh no,
we're
and
we're gonna
and what I
we're
was
gonna
gonna
talk
add
about
to
the NBA in a minute, but yeah,
yeah.
I will say that last thing. The Bucks are still a team to be concerned about. They've just got a few things to fix.
Oh no, I agree, and I'll keep it brief. I think the Lions too. Like I've said this for the last couple of weeks, they're my favorite to make it out of the NFC. I haven't seen enough from the Eagles, and ever since that Week 1 loss to the Packers, the Lions have looked absolutely incredible. And
Yeah,
what I love about their team is their defense. I mean, shout out to their defensive coordinator Kelvin Shepard. He's got them brothers playing some phenomenal defense. But on offense, it's like they have such a balanced attack. Like last night was one of those games where, like you said, Jared Goff didn't have it going, but Jameer Gibbs looked like Barry Sanders. I mean, my
yeah.
goodness. I mean, and thank God for him. He's on my fantasy team. Brother almost gave me 40 points at the running back position. So huge shout out to them. And that they're scary with the weapons. Like Jameer Gibbs, Montgomery, Laporta,
Montgomery didn't even
Amon-Ra,
have to run the
Jamison
ball
Williams.
last night.
Like I don't think Jamison Williams had more than 3 catches, and it's like they
Yeah,
still were dominant. You know what I'm saying? So
Montgomery barely had to run the football
yeah,
last night.
they're scary. And Jared Goff
Yeah,
barely had to make big plays. Like outside of that first touchdown he threw to Amon-Ra, we didn't hear a lot from Jared Goff. We didn't have to.
no,
Yeah.
you're right.
Shout out to them.
So last NFL topic, Justin Fields was literally thrown under the bus by Woody Johnson. By the way, he and Jerry Jones are neck and neck for
Yeah.
two of the owners in
Especially in football.
sport. Yeah, I won't say in all of sports, but they're pretty close.
Yeah, it's bad.
Um, yeah, I mean I know you actually heard part of what he said, and I just think, he was like, well, Aaron Glenn is good, and doesn't matter who the head coach is, our quarterback. That's not see. That's part of the reason why sometimes as an owner, like you didn't hear this kind of stuff from Bob Kraft.
No,
Just
you just
you're the
stay
owner.
behind the scenes, stay low key. You hire
Yes,
people to do their jobs. Let them do their job, bro. Like
exactly.
you don't
Just
have
be
to make
quiet.
comment. And if you feel like that, that's something you tell internally to your GM, to your coach, to some of your offensive staff. You don't say that to the media publicly, bro. Like, and here's my thing: Justin Fields played really good the first four weeks. The defense sucked. Now all of a sudden the
Exactly.
defense is playing well. And here's what I'm gonna say: he didn't have Garrett Wilson. Brees Hall has been terrible this year. Can you name another offensive player for the Jets right now? I can't. They suck.
No, no clue.
So it's
I have
like
no
like
idea.
like back to what you were saying earlier. They just expect to be able to throw any type of quarterback
Plug
in
and
there
play.
with a lack of weapons and just find success. That's not how the NFL works. It
It
takes
does
time,
not.
it takes development, and you also got to surround these quarterbacks with offensive talent. Garrett Wilson is not enough.
No,
Clearly,
he's not.
it's
He's
not.
not.
So, but
Mm-mm.
that's why the Jets will continue to be poverty. Enough said.
Absolutely. And I think the Jets fans
Yeah,
can't stand Woody Johnson, and it shows.
they deserve
Like,
better. It's sad.
yeah, it is. So, all right, we're gonna shift gears and spend a few minutes talking about the NBA. It's back starting tonight. And Jamison, we're gonna go through very quickly our picks for the season. Some sleeper teams, etc. And then we'll close the segment out with moving the needle. So, um, who is your rookie of the year prediction?
Cooper Flag. I would bet my apartment on it.
Oh
And
my.
here's what I'm gonna say. The reason why is, a sleeper
Well,
for me.
hold on. It's not really. I mean, you're renting,
Yeah, facts.
so
But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like
I like that
I go
though.
sleep out in the car. And that's how confident I am on it.
Okay.
But the other person I could maybe see as a sleeper is Ace Bailey. It's just the Jazz thing. So like, are people even gonna be watching them on television like that? And here's what I'm gonna say, man. Cooper Flag, I think this is the first time like we've seen a number one pick go into a winning situation since maybe like Tim Duncan when he got drafted by the Spurs. It's been that long. Like he's
Yeah.
literally going to a team that can compete for a championship when Kyrie's back. Like they're that loaded. So I think Cooper Flag, he already has a lot of hype surrounding his name. And really, he doesn't even have to do that much. Like he could average 16 points, 8 rebounds, a couple of assists, and he'll win Rookie of the Year just because the Mavericks are going to win, and he's a jack of all trades. So he's my pick.
Ace Bailey is mine, and the reason I say it's Ace Bailey, I think that there's a lot that has to happen right for the Mavericks. I agree with you that they're a loaded team, but they're also a loaded team with dudes who get hurt a lot.
Yeah,
Um, Anthony
very
Davis,
fair.
I mean Kyrie Irving. At this point, Derek Lively doesn't always
True.
play. He gets injured quite often, so it does open the door for him to play more.
I was
But
about to
Ace
say,
Bailey
yeah.
is going, yeah, but Ace Bailey is going to be the man.
Yeah,
Um, I so do I think it's going to more than likely be Cooper Flag? Yes, but I think Ace Bailey has the better chance because he's going to be relied on more.
I agree.
Um, and we'll just have to see whether or not he hits that rookie wall, either of them.
Yeah,
But I do believe, to your point, um, Cooper Flag has the best chance.
I agree.
I shouldn't say best
He
chance.
has
He
the
has
easiest
the
route
best.
to it, though, if we're
Yes,
being honest. Yeah.
easier route. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. He's in a better situation.
hmm
Let's just say that. Um, Defensive Player of the Year. Who's your pick?
As long as the brothers stay healthy, this my guy. It's Wimby. Like,
Okay.
and Wimby really don't need, like he can just play. The defensive player of the year thing is gonna happen for him. As long as he stays healthy and is eligible, playing enough games, he's gonna win it. That's my pick.
Okay. And I like that. I actually have a couple of other options. And the reason I'm mentioning these guys because they're always in the conversation. Bam Adebayo.
Yeah.
Now, I just have to see what they're gonna look like now. They've got, I always call him Nick Powell. Um,
Norman
they've got
Powell.
Norman. They've got Norman Powell.
Tyler Hero's hurt to
Uh,
start off the year.
exactly. Now, and I do believe Khalil Ware
Yeah, he a
will
monster.
help. He's a monster, and I think that if they decide to play them side by side, I actually think that makes the case easier for Bam.
Yeah.
The other backup, and man, I know he's getting older, but with some of the off-season stuff that they did, Draymond Green is still a really
Yeah.
good defensive
Yeah.
player. And going out and signing, I mean, I know they went out and signed a 112-year-old center, and
You like my flag. That Al
but
Horford.
I mean, I'm saying Al Horford has been in the league since Oscar Robertson,
But to your point, if
and
the Warriors win, like if they
yeah,
win a lot of games and there's a lot of buzz, Draymond would definitely be in that conversation. I mean, he
yeah.
always is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mentioned Bam just because Bam always plays good defense. It's just a
facts,
matter of are the Heat going to be any good?
facts. And
Like
does that
I don't
translate to
know.
winning? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah,
Exactly. So those are my two other options. I agree that Wemby has the best chance. His health is always we got to see.
yeah.
Just see what happens there. Your sixth man of the year.
I got two options. One is probably not going to be a shocker. It's Nas Reed. I mean, the brother's special, and with some of the players that the Timberwolves lost more specifically, like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I think it opens up the door for Nas Reed to do even more off the bench. My sleeper though could be Alex Caruso. With the Thunder, it's like the Thunder are going to. They honestly, like, we'll get to it later. They're honestly my pick to make it out of the West potentially, if not the Lakers. But I think Alex Caruso, I think his game will be appreciated more this year, hopefully. But if I was a betting man, it would be Nas Reed.
We're going to come out of complete left field. It's Bobby Portis.
Hmm.
Um, and listen,
I like that actually.
yeah, and listen, I don't know for sure. I don't really
No, I get what you're
believe.
saying. Yeah. It
Yeah,
can happen though.
but if you look at what Bobby Portis has done over the last couple of years coming off the bench, that dude actually comes in and he's efficient
Yeah.
and he's productive when he
And they're
plays.
gonna need him to play good.
That's what I'm saying. And so he literally gets a starter minutes. even as a sixth man
Yeah.
coming off the bench. And he plays two different positions based on who they're matching up with.
And the
Sometimes
Bucks
they've
have
actually
no
played him at
depth,
center.
you know?
They haven't. That's right. That's what I'm saying. So I think he's going to get starter minutes. He can actually play two positions based on who they play. Sometimes he's actually played center,
Yeah, facts.
which is crazy. So Bobby Portis is my sleeper six man of the year, kind of coming out of left field,
I
but
like that.
eh, it's a possibility. Um, Most improved player, Jameson. Who do you think?
I got two. I'm gonna tell you the one that I think that's gonna win it is Amin Thompson. You know, he's become one of my favorite players already. That brother's special, and I think now the fact that like tonight that brother's gonna be the starting point guard. I think his route is easy. He's gonna be on full display now with the Rockets being on TV more with KD. I think it's Amin Thompson. Like he's improved a lot. I've watched him throughout the preseason. I think he's gonna have a phenomenal year. My sleeper pick, and this really might not even be a sleeper, Shadon Sharp. You know, I'm a huge fan of his. I think he's going to have a, more of an expanded role this year with the Blazers. And the brother just got paid over the weekend. You know, I think it was 4 years, $100 million contract. Honestly, right now, that might be the best bargain contract
Yes.
in the entire NBA right now. For the value you're getting for him at such a young age, he's my sleeper pick for most improved player. I think he's going to be one of those two players.
Well, he's actually my pick. You
I
you
like
kind
that.
of stole my thunder. I
Yeah.
like Shaden Sharp. Um, Here's what I will say though. I listen. He is explosive, athletic. I just want him to slow down just a little bit
Yeah.
because I don't want him to get hurt.
Facts.
Um, when I see this cat coming from the corner, I mean, getting the rebound and dunking it back in, that he's scary.
Yeah.
I just sometimes when you see dudes start to do that too early in their career,
You got to figure out the
um,
pace of the game.
that's right. Exactly. He's
Yep.
got to figure out how to balance that. But he's my pick because I honestly think, I don't necessarily know that Portland is going to be able to get over the hump and maybe be in the play in. I think that's a possibility.
Yeah.
But I think that with their coach, it's Chauncey Billups knows how to get the best out of players. Like he's at that point where, he can motivate
Yep.
and he can relate to the players. I really feel like Portland could be one of those teams, and if they have some success, then I think he could actually be, to your point, he could be a sleeper for that. For
And
that,
see, if they can, honestly, that like last 15 to 20 games they played last year, if they can carry that momentum into this year,
yes,
I think like they'll get a lot more buzz around their team. You know?
I agree,
Yes, sir.
totally agree. Um, all right, your MVP for the year.
I got two picks. One, if I was a betting man, I think it's Nikola Jokic. I think honestly, they wanted to give it to him last year. They did everything they could to try to give him MVP last year. And here's what I'm gonna say. I actually really think like I really like the moves that the Nuggets made over the offseason. I think like now Jokic might be even better with some of the pieces that like bringing in Cam Johnson, bringing in
Mm,
Bruce Brown. Like even now, last year we talked about all the time. They had no backup center depth. Now you have Jonas Valanciunas. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
Like I like some of the moves that they made. I think the Nuggets will actually be a better regular season team. And if that's the case, I think it's going to be Jokic. But my pick, my real pick, like I said, betting man, I'm picking Jokic. But my real pick is Luka Doncic.
yep.
There's some bias including that because I'm a Lakers fan, diehard Lakers fan. But I think the fact that he's already not going to have LeBron, he's going to be asked to do more for the first about month and a half of the year. I think it's going to be Luka, and he's in shape. That's what I'm. It's scary, scary
Well,
hours.
biased or not, it's Luca.
Yeah, that
That's just how
Luka.
I feel. I mean, Luca's actually playing probably 20% more defense than he ever has in his
Mm-hmm.
career. Like that's even in the was it the FIBA? What was it? Not the FIBA
It
or
was
the
the
World
world.
Championship?
Yeah, that brother was
Yeah,
hooping over the off
World
season.
Cup. That's what it was. Like so, moving his feet. Some of the preseason games, I've seen him actually make an effort on defense. It's Luca to me.
Yep.
And here's what I'll say about Denver. Um, yeah, I think they're a team to be,
It's
to pay
crazy to say
attention to.
sleeping on Denver, but it's like
Yeah,
compared to
but
how they
maybe,
played last year.
yeah, but I've got to see how their defense does. Bringing in Bruce Brown helps that. Cam Johnson is actually a sneaky good defender.
I think he's a Michael
Um,
Porter Jr. upgrade, in my
he
opinion.
absolutely is. No question. He doesn't just shoot jump shots, which is
Yep.
unfortunately is what a lot of people think about his game, but we know better.
And I think him
Um,
playing with Jokic in that system is going to unlock his game even more.
I agree. I agree. So, but yeah, it's Luca. I
Yeah.
I don't. It's Luca. Yes, I'm biased.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not. I don't care.
Yeah.
Um, Coach of the year. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you mine first.
Okay.
Um, Udoka. I just think
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I said that last year. I
You
said
did.
that I thought, yeah, because that dude can coach. And you've now got Kevin Durant. They're getting ready to start literally, I don't even know
It's
what you
it's
call
it's the tallest it's the
the
tallest
quadruple
it's
towers.
the tallest
Like,
opening night lineup in NBA history.
like that's insane.
The
And
average height is
so
6'10".
that's, yes, exactly. So when you think about that, because I saw a picture, um, Jabari Smith is as tall as Kevin Durant.
And KD's 7 foot tall. He's lying. He's
Exactly.
not 60.
So
He's 7 foot tall.
he's 7 feet. There's no question. And Jabari, there was literally a picture, and I don't know if Durant was bending down, but Jabari Smith was as tall.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the fact he now has Kevin Durant. They're going to be ridiculously good on defense. I expect.
Facts.
I expect them to be. Could surprise me, but I expect them to be. So Udoka is my coach of the year.
Honestly, he's my pick as well. I think my one sleeper pick is Quinn Snyder for the Atlanta Hawks.
Mm,
And the
okay.
reason I say that is I'm like, I think the Hawks, and we're going to get to this in a second, like our sleeper teams in each conference. The Hawks are one of my sleeper teams. And I'm like, if they can be like, and honestly, this is their best chance to actually be good in the East with all the injuries for throughout the Eastern Conference this year.
Hmm.
So I'm like, if they can be a top 4 to 5 seed in the East and Trae Young take an even bigger jump, I think Quinn Snyder could be in that conversation.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, your finals prediction.
If I'm a betting man, if I was a
Yeah.
betting man, I'm gonna say I think the Thunder make it again. That team is just stacked. They didn't lose anybody. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So that's my
Yep.
pick out the West. Sleeper bias aside is the Lakers, of course.
Yeah.
But coming out the East, I'm torn. I think most people are gonna be shocked. I don't have the Cavs. I think it's gonna be the Knicks or the Magic.
Hmm.
But if I had to bet, I'm gonna pick the Knicks. I'm gonna say the Knicks and the Thunder, and I think the Thunder win back-to-back championships, and they're really starting a dynasty.
Yeah. I don't honestly. I'm For me. It's between Cleveland and yeah. It's for me. It's actually between Cleveland and the Knicks.
Yeah,
Um, I think that the Knicks now have another year under their belt. They've kind of figured out how to play with each other.
Mike Brown too
Um,
not being there.
Mike Brown, I mean, look, defensively, they're going to still be good because Mike Brown preaches defense. But I
Yep.
also think he's going to throw some of those Golden State wrinkles in there too.
And here's what I'm gonna
Um,
say too. While I'm also really confident in the Knicks, I love their current roster, but I'm throwing it out there now, and you can mark it. What is today? October 21st.
oh, I know who you're talking about.
Do not be shocked if the Bucks suck by that deadline. Giannis is on the Knicks. Do not be
But if
shocked.
that happens, then yeah, it's.
I'm
I
saying
mean,
even without that happening, their
right,
roster
of
is good
course,
enough. They were close last year to making it. But I'm like,
very
if
much
they
so.
if they trade for Giannis somehow by that deadline, oh, you can book it. They're in the
Yeah.
finals.
So we agree.
Yeah,
For the most part, I still like. Listen, Darius Garland has to show up. He's gotta take that leap now.
I
Like
agree.
in order for that team to take the next step, he's gotta
And
take
I
the
love
next
them
step.
having Lonzo Ball now. I think
Me too.
he's honestly a sleeper too for six man of the year if he stays healthy. I love
That's a good
Lonzo on
point.
that team.
Yes, that's a very good point. And listen, I actually believe Darius Garland is playing around. Lonzo might take his spot.
I agree,
Um, because
especially
Lonzo
defensively.
doesn't. Exactly, and that's what I was going to say. Lonzo doesn't have to score to be effective.
Nope.
Darius Garland does. He has to score.
And honestly,
Lonzo
we
Ball
saw at
affects him.
playoff time. Darius gone. They just ran whoever. They were literally targeting him because he's not a
Yes,
good defender.
absolutely. But Lonzo Ball affects the game in so many other ways, and it's not even scoring.
Yep.
The way he passes the ball, the way he distributes, gets other people involved, and then he literally plays lockdown defense.
Yeah.
So, it's for me, it's definitely the Thunder. But it's kind of a toss up with me for the Knicks because I was going to say this very quickly. I do believe that having Mike Brown, I don't think they're necessarily going to take a step back defensively. I think they'll take a step forward because of his experience in that Golden State offense. They'll have better movement, better offense. So yeah, it's kind of between those two for
Yeah.
me. So last topic, and then we'll move on to our moving the needle. Sleeper teams in each conference. Who do you have in the West?
In the West, really my sleeper team is the Spurs.
Okay.
If I'm being completely honest with you, I know it's wild for me to say sleeper, but like the Spurs have enough talent to be a top 5 seed in the West this year, no question. And my other sleeper team, I know we were just talking about him, is Denver. It's like I know it's wild for me to say sleeper team, but I'm like Denver is good enough having Jokic now and some of these other depth pieces that they added. They can be right back in the Western Conference Finals depending on matchups. And honestly, they can make it hard on the Thunder if they match up in the Western Conference Finals and compete to be representing the Western Conference. So those are my two sleeper teams out in the West.
So one of the sleeper teams that I have out in the West, and then we'll go to the East, and I hate to say this, is the Clippers. Um,
Yeah, I like that too.
yeah, I mean, and honestly, again, it's always about health. I think Kawhi Leonard now has the chance because he, once again, he rested half the season. Um, I mean, I shouldn't say that because he actually played more,
Yeah.
but I think that team actually has the right pieces. I'd never listen. I know Tyronn Lue can flat out coach. It is what it is. So I think that out of the West, the Clippers may be a team that everybody needs to pay very, very close attention to. And then from a sleeper, I talked about the Trailblazers. If the Trailblazers are able to get into the playing game, I think that's actually a win-win for them.
Facts.
Winning season. So that's another team. I'm not expecting it, but if they were, that to me would be a big deal.
Facts.
So, who's your sleeper out of the Eastern Conference? Sleeper
I have
team.
two teams. You'll probably be shocked. One of them is the Atlanta Hawks, like I said earlier. I think that roster, if literally is just barring injury, if that roster can stay healthy, they're a top 5 seed in the East. And I think they can create a lot of matchup problems now with all the defensive talent they have with that roster. If Jalen Johnson's healthy, Dyson Daniels just got extended. Adding Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and the big one is Porzingis. Because now, this Porzingis, if he stays healthy, that's probably the best center that Trey's ever had. You know what I'm saying? Trey's
True.
ever the most versatile center that he's ever played with. So I really like that team. My other sleeper team is the Charlotte Hornets. And I know it's wild to say that, but I'm like, man, looking at that roster, I'm like, if LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller can stay healthy, there is no reason why they cannot compete to at least make that play in. Like,
Yep.
they have enough
So you're
talent.
saying to them, kind of like Portland, that
Yeah, just make the play and like give
make the
yourself a
play in.
fighter's chance. You haven't.
Yeah.
The Hornets have enough talent to compete with any team out in the East, night in and night out. In my opinion, like
They
LaMelo's
just have
that
to
good.
learn how to win.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like Charles Lee as their coach. They just got to learn how to win consistently. But part of that is they haven't had the chance to because but they're never fully healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
And
that's my
that's the
sleeper
question.
team. My other
Okay.
sleeper team out east.
Okay. I like those. The only one I'm going to mention is, and this is probably still going to come. I mean, it's not really a sleeper per se, but I actually think the Pistons are going to make a jump, and they may be a team that surprises
The
everybody.
cave.
Well, that's your boy, and that's why I'm kind of surprised you didn't say, because you expect them at this point to make the
Yeah,
playoffs.
given
I'm
what they did
expecting them,
last year, yeah.
but I'm not just expecting them to make the playoffs. I'm expecting them to make the playoffs and actually make a run.
So do you think they can
Um,
make the Eastern Conference Finals?
I think it's possible. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean
I
they'll
do.
have Jaden Ivey back. They'll have a
That's
lot
right.
of they'll have a lot of these weapons back. So, and I think Jalen Duren's going to take that next step this year too. Hopefully,
And that's what I'm counting on.
yeah,
I'm counting on him. I mean, he's a double machine. I'm counting
facts.
on him to actually have hopefully develop more of his game because he can score. I mean, he's a Dwight Howard type of center, but he has the ability to develop his game where he's making turnaround jump shots and hook shots left and right. He can spin on both sides. Like I need for this brother to go get in the gym with Hakeem Olajuwon
Facts.
over the all season. So Detroit is that team that I think might surprise some people.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. All right. So we're going to end as we always do with moving the needle. Jamison, what's your moving the needle for this week?
Mine, first off, huge congratulations to the LA Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays. I honestly thought the Mariners were going to win last night. I was watching that Game 7, but my moving the needle, you can probably already see what it is now talking about baseball. It's Shohei Ohtani. Him and Ellie De La Cruz, my two favorite players in the MLB, but that performance that he had was not only one of the best performances I've ever seen on the mound, it's one of the best performances I've ever seen in all of sports individually. The brother had 3 home runs, 10 strikeouts. He had more runs than total hits allowed. That's how special that performance was.
Nice.
and he literally scored more runs by himself than the opposing team did. Like,
That's
so
insane.
literally, like, Shohei's a monster, and what's scary is the Dodgers are set up to win the World Series the next four. Like, even if they win this year, they can win the next 3 years in a row after that. Like, they're set up that good. So my move of the needle is easily Shohei Ohtani. Huge shout out to that brother, man. He's special.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, that is definitely a moving the needle, no question. My moving the needle is his name is Luca, but he doesn't play for the Lakers. He plays for the Tar Heels. And Luca Bogovac, I think is how you pronounce it. He actually got cleared by the NCAA. For those who don't know, this brother can shoot. This brother can fill it up, and when I tell you he can fill it up, you'll see, you'll see. So all the naysayers about Carolina, Hubert Davis not being just wait, just wait, patience, patience. He was cleared. It's going to be a fun ride this year. I'm going to enjoy it. Um, I have some expectations, but very much like the football team this year, because all this talk about Carolina football, Bill Belichick, patience. It's a process.
Yep.
Now it's not going to be a Joel Embiid. Um, Certainly not for Hubert Davis. He doesn't have that kind of time.
Yep.
let's
Facts.
just be let's just be honest. But I do believe that this year, patience. But we're going to see the process, and we're going to see them progress. And a big part of that is Luca being cleared by the NCAA. So he'll be playing. That's an exciting thing to watch. Go Heels. So that's my moving the needle for the week. We are done for today. We want to thank everybody for listening in. We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.